If you're a man over 60, and you've noticed your energy slipping, your confidence fading, or your body simply not responding the way it used to, you're not alone and you're certainly not broken. Every week, I meet men who whisper the same quiet worry. Maybe this is just what getting older feels like. But here's the truth, I wish every man knew age isn't the problem. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's simply running low on the raw materials it needs to keep you strong. And often, it comes down to just 3 simple vitamins that control blood flow, energy, and hormones. Fix those deficiencies, and you can reignite your vitality faster than you might believe. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s feel years younger not from medication or magic, but from nourishing their body the right way. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist who has spent more than 30 years helping men restore confidence, connection, and control over their health. Today, I want to show you the 3 vitamins that quietly determine your performance in the gym, in your mind, and yes, in the bedroom. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn not only what to take, but how to bring your system back to life naturally and consistently. Now, let's begin with the foundation, the vitamin that opens the door for everything else to work. Vitamin D, the circulation switch. Think of vitamin D as the ignition switch that brings your entire body back to life. It's more than just the sunshine vitamin. It's the silent messenger that tells your blood vessels, your muscles, and even your mind that it's time to wake up and move. Without it, your circulation weakens, your energy fades, and your confidence begins to slip away, little by little, until one day you realize that what once felt effortless now feels uncertain. I remember a patient named Paul, 67, who came to see me with that same quiet frustration so many men carry. He looked down when he spoke and said, "Doc, I still love my wife, but my body doesn't respond anymore." When we ran his labs, the answer was clear: his vitamin D levels were dangerously low. He wasn't broken, he was depleted. I told him to start simple: 15 minutes of morning sunlight on his face and arms, a few servings of salmon and eggs each week, and a daily dose of vitamin D3. 6 weeks later, he came back smiling like a younger man. "Doc," he laughed, "she's the one telling me to slow down now." Here's why this simple change made such a difference. Your body needs nitric oxide to relax the blood vessels that let blood flow freely when you're aroused. Vitamin D controls the enzymes that make that nitric oxide possible. Without it, the switch never turns on, and the blood just can't move where it needs to go. Studies from the Journal of Sexual Medicine show that men low in vitamin D are about 30% more likely to experience erectile dysfunction. And after 60, your skin produces 75% less vitamin D from sunlight than it once did. Combine that with long hours indoors, and nearly every man becomes deficient without realizing it. The fix is simple: a few minutes of morning sun, vitamin D-rich foods, or a quality D3 supplement taken with breakfast. Within a few weeks, most men notice better mood, stronger energy, and firmer, more reliable performance. Sometimes the first step toward healing isn't a pill, it's light. Step outside, let the morning sun touch your skin, and remind your body that life is still moving through you, and as that energy returns, it prepares you perfectly for the next piece of the puzzle, the vitamin that fuels every cell with strength and drive. Vitamin B12, the energy generator. Now that your circulation is waking up, your body needs fuel to keep that energy moving, and that's where vitamin B12 steps in. Think of it as the electricity that powers every cell in your body, the quiet force behind your strength, focus, and drive. Without enough B12, even the strongest engine will sputter and fade, leaving you feeling drained, foggy, and disconnected from your own vitality. I'll never forget Robert, a 72-year-old retired firefighter who came to see me looking completely worn out. "Doc," he said, "I sleep 8 hours, but by the afternoon I can barely keep my eyes open. I don't even have the energy to want sex, let alone try." We ran his tests, and there it was. His B12 levels were almost non-existent. I explained that after 60, our stomachs lose the acid needed to absorb B12 properly, even if you eat plenty of meat and eggs. Your body can't pull the vitamin out of the food the way it used to. You're eating well, but starving at the cellular level. We began a simple plan: 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin, the natural and active form of B12 taken each morning with a protein-rich breakfast. Within 3 weeks, Robert called me laughing, "Doc, I don't know what's in this stuff, but I feel like myself again. My energy's back, my head's clear, and my wife keeps thanking you." Here's what was really happening. B12 builds the red blood cells that carry oxygen to every muscle and tissue, including the ones responsible for your erections. When oxygen delivery drops, your cells can't perform, your stamina drops, and even your mood suffers. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reports that nearly half of men over 60 are B12 deficient, but the solution is simple and safe. A small daily dose of methylcobalamin can revive your energy, sharpen your mind, and restore the natural spark that time tried to steal. After a few weeks, most men notice they can think more clearly, move more easily, and feel that fire return. When oxygen flows freely again, life itself feels lighter, and once your body is recharged, it's time to protect that newfound vitality, which brings us to the third essential vitamin, the quiet guardian of your testosterone and longevity. Vitamin E, the testosterone defender. Now that your circulation is strong and your body is recharged, there's one final piece that keeps everything running smoothly: protection. That's where vitamin E comes in. Think of it as the body's shield, quietly guarding the very systems that keep you feeling alive, confident, and masculine. Without it, your blood vessels begin to stiffen, your cells weaken, and the testosterone your body works so hard to produce starts to fade away faster than it should. I remember James, a 70-year-old retired pilot, one of those men who seemed to do everything right. He exercised daily, ate well, slept early, yet he told me, "Doc, I feel flat, my energy's fine, but the drive is gone." His tests showed inflammation levels through the roof and a vitamin E deficiency so low it barely registered. We didn't reach for a prescription, we turned to nature. I told him to add a handful of almonds in the morning, a sprinkle of sunflower seeds in the afternoon, and a drizzle of olive oil over his dinner. 3 months later, he was a different man. "Doc," he laughed, "my wife says I'm flying higher than ever." Here's the truth behind that transformation. Vitamin E is one of the body's most powerful antioxidants, protecting your cells from oxidative stress, the internal rust that builds up over time. When that rust attacks the lining of your blood vessels, blood flow weakens when it reaches your testicles. It damages the Leydig cells that make testosterone. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that men with healthy vitamin E levels have more than 20% better erectile function and more stable hormone production. But the mistake most men make is buying the cheap synthetic form labeled DL-alpha tocopherol. That's just one tiny piece of what your body actually needs. Real vitamin E is a family of nutrients called mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols, the complete version that truly nourishes your cells. The best way to get it is through food: nuts, seeds, olive oil, and leafy greens. When you feed your body this way, you're not just protecting testosterone, you're defending your heart, your brain, and your vitality itself. Vitamin E keeps your system youthful and your hormones balanced, ensuring that all the progress you've built with vitamins D and B12 lasts for years to come. And as that protection strengthens, it creates the perfect foundation for lasting energy, confident performance, and the sense of calm strength every man deserves, leading us naturally toward how these three nutrients work together to rebuild your vitality from the inside out. The vitality triangle: why they work better together. When you bring vitamins D, B12, and E together, your body doesn't just get stronger, it begins to remember how to function at its best. These three nutrients form what I call the vitality triangle. Vitamin D opens your blood vessels, allowing circulation to flow freely again. Vitamin B12 fills that bloodstream with oxygen and energy, fueling every heartbeat, every thought, every moment of desire. And vitamin E stands guard, protecting those delicate blood vessels and hormone-producing cells from the wear and tear of time. Alone, each vitamin supports a piece of your health, but together, they create harmony, a natural rhythm where energy, strength, and masculinity work in sync. I've seen this transformation countless times. Walter, 68, had been taking vitamin D for years with little change. When he finally added B12 and E, his entire system seemed to wake up. "Doc," he said, "it's like my body just started working again." That's what happens when you give your body balance instead of fragments. The results aren't forced or artificial, they're natural, steady, and lasting. You move with more ease, your thoughts feel sharper, and you begin to trust your body again. This combination doesn't just improve erections or energy, it renews vitality at the deepest level, helping you feel connected to life itself. But while this trio is powerful, there's one thing that can stop it from working, a mistake I see far too many men make. It's not about the vitamins themselves, but how they're used. So before you start, let me show you the biggest reason men over 60 often miss out on these benefits, even when they're trying their best. The biggest mistake men over 60 make. Now that you understand how these three vitamins work together, it's important to talk about the one mistake that stops most men from ever seeing the results they deserve. It's not laziness, and it's not lack of effort, it's inconsistency and misunderstanding. Too many men rush to the store, buy a handful of cheap supplements, take them for a few days, and then wonder why nothing changes. Gerald, 74, came to my clinic carrying a bag full of bottles. "Doc," he said, "I'm taking all the right stuff, but it's not working." When we looked closer, I saw what happens to so many men: wrong forms, poor quality, skipped doses, and no routine. Your body doesn't heal overnight. It rebuilds through rhythm. The right vitamins need time to saturate your system and bring your cells back to balance. I told Gerald to simplify: fewer products, better quality, and consistency above all. D3 instead of D2, methylcobalamin instead of the synthetic kind, mixed natural vitamin E instead of the single, cheap version within a month. His body started responding. His energy improved, his sleep deepened, and his confidence returned. "Doc," he said, "I didn't realize how much difference doing it right could make." And that's the lesson here. Your body rewards patience and commitment. The biggest mistake men make isn't waiting too long, it's giving up too soon. When you stay consistent, the same nutrients that once failed you begin to transform you. So before you start, make a promise to yourself. Don't quit halfway. Give your body time to catch up, to repair, and to thrive again. Because the next step, your daily routine, is where this transformation truly begins. Your daily routine for vitality. Now that you understand what your body truly needs, let's turn that knowledge into action. The secret to lasting change isn't doing everything at once, it's creating a steady rhythm your body can rely on. Each day becomes an opportunity to rebuild from the inside out. When you wake up, start with a glass of water to rehydrate and wake your circulation. Take your vitamin B12 with a protein-rich breakfast eggs, yogurt, or even a simple shake because B12 absorbs best when paired with food. Then, if the weather allows, step outside and let the morning sunlight touch your face and arms for 15 minutes. That light triggers vitamin D production and sets your internal clock for better sleep and energy. If you can't get sun, take your vitamin D3 with lunch, preferably alongside a healthy fat like olive oil, salmon, or avocado to help it absorb. For vitamin E, make it part of your meals instead of a chore: a handful of almonds, a sprinkle of sunflower seeds, or a drizzle of olive oil over your vegetables. In the evening, take a few minutes to stretch, breathe deeply, and release the tension you've carried through the day. Stress is one of the fastest ways to lower testosterone and block progress. So this small act of calm becomes medicine for both body and mind. Follow this rhythm consistently, and within weeks, you'll notice your mornings feel lighter, your energy lasts longer, and your confidence begins to rise again. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring your body and giving it what it's been asking for all along: and as your vitality returns. It prepares you for the most important reminder of all you were never broken to begin with. So, as you begin this journey, remember that true strength isn't about fighting age, it's about understanding and nourishing the body you have right now. You are not broken, and you are not past your prime. Your body has simply been running low on the essential fuel it needs to feel alive again. Vitamin D reignites your circulation, allowing blood to move freely and energy to flow through you. Vitamin B12 fills that blood with oxygen, waking up every cell with clarity and purpose. And vitamin E stands guard, protecting your testosterone, your heart, and your confidence from the wear and tear of time. These three nutrients, when taken with patience and consistency, can help you feel connected to your strength again, not as something lost, but as something returning. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s reclaim the spark they thought was gone forever. And they didn't do it with pills or shortcuts. They did it by listening to their bodies, showing up every day, and feeding themselves what nature intended. So, I want you to make a promise to yourself just 30 days. Give your body what it's been missing. Pay attention to how you feel, how you move, and how your mornings begin to change. Then come back and tell your story, because your progress might be the hope another man needs to start his. If this message spoke to you, like the video, share it with a friend who could use encouragement, and subscribe for more science-based guidance for men over 60. Because your best years aren't behind you, they're waiting for you to rise and claim them.